Alright guys, in this video we're going to be talking about the play Mesh from Strong Close and how we use it to attack cover 3, cover 4, and man coverage. We don't need this play to attack cover 2 because if you watched the earlier video, Y Trail destroys cover 2, so typically our opponents won't be in that coverage at all. But this is what we're going to use against 3, 4, and 2-man under, or any man coverage. So cover 3, these cover 3 rules are hot routes are very similar to what you would do with the play tight end option, except now we have the streak corner flat combination on this side. You would motion out your baby out routes until they start either pressing, this is really what we want them to do anyways, is to press, or swing a defender out to try to cover for that. And we're just gonna go ahead and reset the play. Basic streak corner flat combination. You can throw the out route. I'm not going to show you how to do that. It's pretty obvious how you do that. We're going to go ahead and get off the safety real quick. If the fullback is open, just throw it to him. He's not the most athletic guy, but he can get you some yards when you need him to. The corner route will eventually get open unless they're in cover 2, but I wouldn't necessarily wait for that to get open because that's a pretty obvious route to run from a heavy set like this. Tight end corner routes are pretty predictable. Just to show you that it eventually does get open, right there, it'll get open. It's definitely not the most open thing in the world, but it's there. I would never force that in a real game. Your last read is going to be this backside drag route. Your opponent's user will they'll probably shade underneath and try to user this corner route, so then you'll have this X receiver that you can pretty much start to every single time. You have to use your drags this year. It's really tough to not use your drags, and they always get open. Other thing to note is, well, there's a couple things. If they're using this safety, which typically they'll do if they're trying to stop the run and they're late getting back to play their middle third, let's just go ahead and put this guy in a spy. If we run this route combination here, you can pass lead this streak inside as he clears that linebacker and take that for a touchdown. All right, they have to be aware of that route and they have to play their deep assignments. That will definitely happen sometimes with really, really aggressive users. People will do that. So just be on the lookout for where they're using. But if they're using the linebacker, which is typically where people would user, they'll probably run out to the corner route or the flat. In that case, you have your drag open on the backside. So if they're doing a good job of taking away those routes, they're making some crazy cool adjustments that are stopping everything, put your halfback on the swing route, and you now have a makeshift screen. I'm going to hop off this linebacker. Those are purples out there, not hard flats. As soon as the halfback gets out of the backfield, you can throw it to him. You make one guy miss, you have a couple blockers in front of you, maybe you pop it for a big gain. Again, not the most consistent thing in the world as far as blocking goes, but it gets the job done. It's not something you can go to all the time. Don't go to the well too often on this one. You see right there, we actually got a block. And especially if they're blitzing, like that's pretty good. Like a screen's pretty good against the blitzing opponent, and it still works this way with the makeshift screen. Now I'm gonna pop into cover 4, and then we'll do man coverage. Cover 4 is the most popular coverage to use against this formation that I've seen. In all the games I've played online, a lot of people will come out in this cover 4 drop and try to stop the pass from that. Same exact setup as cover 3, same exact rules as cover 3. Motion out your baby outs, take your fullback or your drag if it's there, wait for the corner route if it's there. The one thing I will say is if you see a too high look and they're taking away both your flat and your corner with these two defenders, it's because they put this defender in a cloud flat. So if you start seeing that this route combination, nothing is getting open, the longer you let it develop, that means that that guy's in a cloud flat, and what you should do is, instead of motioning out your X receiver, motion out your B receiver to the right. And now you have most likely a touchdown. You have to pass lead that outside. If you have a fast guy right there, that's going to be a huge gain. Because people will get crazy with their adjustments like that. They'll put the hard flat, and then they'll put the corner and cloud flat. And then you'll motion the guy out, and then you'll allow him for a touchdown. So just be aware of what's going on the field, even when you're not throwing to a certain receiver or side of the field. Just kind of take a look around if you have the opportunity while you're dropping back, because it's always important to get information throughout the game on how your opponent is adjusting to what you're doing. So it's pretty much that's it against zone coverage. Let's hop into man coverage real quick. This play is pretty darn good against man coverage because you can motion snap slants from this guy on the right. You can put either receiver on a baby hitch and then smart route it. You can keep it in tight, or you can motion it out wide, and it's an unbumpable route. If you guys didn't know, that baby hitch God, I can't even think of it. And you smart route it to the first down marker. It's still unbumpable. You see, he gets like a little tiny press. Boom. It's Amari Cooper winning that pretty much every single time. If there's no flat out there, you're forcing a defender to put into a flat. The tight end route should win if you have a decent tight end, because most of the time they'll be matched up on a linebacker or a safety. Motion snap slant. We were in cover 4 right there by accident. Let's go ahead and take a sack real quick. Two-man under, press. Alright, motion snap slant or corner route. See, the slant wins, corner route destroys. That's a really good corner route. You don't have to have the best tight end in the world. That's a really good corner route against man coverage. Even if that's a safety lined up on him. Let's go ahead and go into like pinch buck. If they're running pinch buck, literally just block the fullback, motion snap a slant, motion snap an out route. So if you put a guy on an out route over here and you motion to the other side, oh, it used to flip, it doesn't anymore. All right, put him on a smart routed in route and then motion him to the other side. It'll turn into an out route. No press. Does a decent job of getting separation. That's Tavon Austin against Stephon Gilmore, though, so just be aware. They should have a better, you should have a better route runner there. If you're playing salary cap and that's just your speed guy, then just continue to motion snap slants and drags, your baby hitches, and if you're going against pinch buck, like I said, block your fullback. You're blocking 7. You'll have plenty of time. Just got to make the right read. What you'll basically see is the user will have to either guard the tight end, because the tight end will win against his man coverage, or the slant will win against his man coverage. So you just pick and choose. You throw to the guy that he isn't guarding, obviously, with his user. It's a really easy read. Cover 0 man coverage is super easy to defeat with this mesh and this strong close.